How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Pokemon Horizons episode review. Today's episode is episode 11, Olivia's Force. And before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this one. We're trying to get to 1,000, and I know we can do it. So, I realized that I forgot the Pokemon seminar for last week. So, you guys will be getting a double dose from me at the end of the review, as always, which I'm glad that these seminars run in order together. So let's address the elephant in the room, which is kind of funny. Olivia, that is the Japanese name of Arboliva, the final evolution of Smoliv, which is kind of weird that we couldn't have just called it Olive. I'm not going to lie, I like Smoliv. That's such a cute name. The Japanese name is Miniviv. I still like Smoliv, but in Doliv's Japanese name, I can't remember it at the moment. I like that one a little bit more. And then Olivia makes, just get it? It's Olivia. But anyway, we have several key points for this episode, and that's how I'm going to address them. The first key point is the giant Arboliva. That is the main thing that we're going after today. This thing is mad. This thing is pissed. And it's funny because if you play the Pokemon games, if you know Pokemon, when you saw Roy climbing up this thing that he thought was just a big tree, you're like, yeah, that's not a tree. That's a giant Pokemon. And I was vindicated in being like, how did Liko know that the picture was a sad Pokemon? The statue was a sad Pokemon? Because I could barely tell that was a Pokemon. And looking at it again from the recap, I still couldn't tell it was a Pokemon. But we will certainly get back to the giant Pokemon and the 2-on-1 battle that was had. But it has an ancient Pokeball attached to it, much like the one that Roy already has. We are talking about Mollie's backstory in this because apparently today's theme is parents and parental figures not wanting to be overbearing. We have no clue because Freed is wondering, how come Luca hasn't called him? Who is Luca? Luca's one of my nicknames, but who is Luca that needs to call him? He says he doesn't want to be overbearing. And of course, we have Murdoch, who doesn't want to be overbearing with Dot. Although, according to Orla, apparently Dot almost blocked Murdoch. Because Murdoch's wondering about the kids, wondering what do they want to have for dinner. And he's reminded, you always ask them that. Just chill out, right? But, Freed comes back with some really, really good knowledge saying, it's natural that parents are going to wonder if, their kids are okay. It's just a natural part of life. You want to make sure they're all right. But, it can be a tricky situation. It's hard to figure out that balance. Which Orla was kind of laughing because she said, man, if only Mollie could see this. Where she's like, oh, nothing, don't worry about it. Mollie, at the very beginning of this, is, I guess, frustrated that her mom has been calling her. She says her mom's worried about the wrong thing, which I can't wait to light into Mollie. I'm going to light into Mollie in a minute. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I get it. We've all been there. Your parents, your mom, your parents, your dad, whatever, they're your parental figure. It's just, they're worried about you. You're like, hey, chill. I'm okay. It's a part of life. It's a part of having somebody that cares about you, that wants to know that you're all right and always wants you to be all right. So let's talk about Mollie's backstory, because we get a moment in this forest after Nimona guides them over to this forest, which is half burnt. Half of it is completely burnt. But we get a moment after Roy kind of runs off on his own, and Liko is sitting here amazed by all the Pokemon that they meet in the forest, because once they get to a certain part, there is more forest green area, which Mollie convinces them, say, hey, once the rain comes, the green will come, and more Pokemon will come in. And Mollie's rude. Like, straight up. Like, when Liko, she's like, you live here, right? You live in Paldea. Well, yeah, but I didn't go to the forest, right? My parents are busy. And she says, oh, you're a pampered princess. I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you being an a-hole right now? And what frustrates me further is that Mollie, so they do have a good heart-to-heart. The heart-to-heart is, Liko, at her age, wishes that she was more like her mother or her father, which Mollie asks, who are you more like? She's like, neither, because she wished she had a path set for her, wondering what is she going to do in the future? What is she going to be? Her dad makes picture books. Her mom is a teacher. Someone with the mom who was a teacher. Okay. I'm identifying with this character more. But she's just wondering, what's she going to do? What is she going to be? Now, she didn't go to the forest before because she didn't have Meowha, but she has, Sprigatito. But now she has the Pokemon. She's able to venture out more. And she's had a conversation with her dad saying she wants to travel, which Mollie brings up because Mollie says, well, you're young. So if you had that all figured out, that'd be kind of weird. But Mollie comes from a family of doctors. And she, thought her plan was set and thought she would do that. She likes Pokemon. The work was rewarding, but she didn't want to do it. And this is when it gets frustrating for me because then she goes, oh, I'll tell you the story about why I quit later. And I'm going to tell you the story about why she quit now. But first, let's just address the fact that if she's actually, we know she's a Nurse Joy. Come on. And Liko, for some reason, Liko's able to put the pieces together with this, but not that Dot is Needle thing. I'll get to that in a moment. She's like, oh yeah, she doesn't go into any Pokemon Center. Maybe it reminds her of a bad time. Or maybe she doesn't want to see her other clones. I'm sorry, Pokemon. You started this back in 25 years ago. Oh God. You started this back in 1999 when you decided to make every Nurse Joy and every Officer Jenny look exactly alike across different regions in different parts of the world, and decided to say, oh yeah, by the way, the little Nurse Joy, she's little and they just all look the same. Where's the father? Who knows? Maybe it's just a person that they cannibalize, or maybe they just grow them in a vat. Who knows? But you're a clone, Mollie. You just happen to have a different name. Your name's not Joy. Your name's just Mollie. Don't know if it's Mollie with an IE or Mollie with the Y. It varies based on where you look at it. I'm pretty sure it's IE. But still, that's why you want to go in. Because everyone's your family. Which Nurse Joy is your mom? Is it Old Joy? Or is it Alpha Joy? Beta Joy? Which Gamma Joy? Which one is your mom? Seriously. But her reason for quitting. So, Liko runs into this Paladean Wooper. One of my favorite newer Pokemon. Love Clodsire. I call it Pooper because Paladean, Wooper, Pooper, and it happens to be brown. But Pooper, his skin is dried up. I like the fact that Liko gets the little Pokedex and it tells it, and this Pokemon was pushed from the forest area, so it has a light film over it that is poisonous. That keeps in the moisture. Thing is dried up, thing is hurt. She's trying to moisturize it, and her hand starts to stink. She's like, oh no. Right, I can't keep doing this. Maybe if I give it a berry. Of course, other Pokemon come and attack her, thinking that she's trying to hurt it. They're protecting it. And I'm thinking to myself, wonder when she's going to realize it. Oh, she realized it pretty quickly. I'm trying to find a speech that was said by the old man earlier. Because it is very prominent about what goes on in this episode. And I don't know if I'm probably not going to find it. I thought I wrote it down, folks. But more or less, it's about understanding one another, right? Parent to child, people to Pokemon. Can one understand the other? That's the key. Try to understand one another. Which it fell in line from earlier with Murdoch and Freed, talking about understanding those who they are parental guardians of, and parents going into this with the Pokemon. So when this giant Olivia is about to attack, because it's like, hey, I see you with the Paladean Wooper, and then you have a Cacnea, a Shroomrish, a bunch of Smallers, they're adorable, and another Pokemon, whose names escape me at the moment. I'm trying to protect it. And Mollie, I guess Mollie's rough and gruff. I guess she's the rough and gruff Joy. Look at me. I have ear piercings up here in the collagen. Ooh, I'm tough. I have half eyes open, which shows you that I'm relaxed and kind of sleepy all the time. Okay. Not ragging on the design. I like the design, but okay. And especially when she tells Liko, hey, I'm giving you a compliment. You should be proud. I'm like, okay, so you're that kind of character. Okay. the girl with the Chansey is that kind of character. The Chansey that's very, very brave, mind you, but still. And she grabs the Palladium Wooper, the pooper, and tells the Cacnea that's just all up in everybody's face, I'm taking care of it, so sit back. And I'm thinking to myself, thing could literally just punch you in the head, but all right. And she tells Liko the reason why she left is because, well, when Pokemon get hurt, they're brought to the Pokemon Center, right? But what about all the Pokemon in the wild that are, hurt but don't have anybody to bring them in? So she couldn't just stay there with that in mind, so she decided to leave. So here's my thing. Very noble, very kind, very cool. Why would that be a thing that you need to hold back? It's like, maybe I'll tell you later. No, you could just tell me right now. That is not a big deal. It is a very honorable thing, yes. But it's very stupid to hold it back as if you got us thinking, oh, maybe she doesn't want to talk about it because she had a fight with her clone parents. Ooh, no, it's just that kind of just took me out of it. So, all right, whatever. We have this other underlying thing where early on, Liko is putting together pieces going, wait a minute, Dot has a Quaxley. I thought I saw her have the Needle Thing costume. And I hear the Needle Thing music coming from her room all the time. And she's talking to Dot and she's like, you are. And Dot's like, I am a super fan. And that's why you don't want to talk to me, who you see as a lesser fan. I get it. And Dot's like, she's making this more complicated. How is she not getting? Liko is on the intelligence level of Ash. She is dumb. You are purposely not seeing the forest for the trees, especially when you looked up and you saw the thing and said, no, I didn't see that, I'm going to ignore it. No, just, she's Needle Thing. You're smart enough to figure out everything else. This, I'm not letting this. If this was Roy, I'd be like, yeah, Roy's the island boy. I get it. He wouldn't put 2 and 2 together. I get it. It's fine for Roy. Liko, you're supposed to be the brains. Nah. I took points away from that, and I took points away from the whole Mollie holding back the backstory. It seemed really is anticlimactic when you think about it, right? Anticlimactic. Don't know who Luke is. Looking forward to figuring that out in episode 12, which is already aired. I think that aired today, so I'm looking forward to watching that. We don't know what burned down the forest. Now, if Koza, aka Brassius, saw Rayquaza, the Black Rayquaza, go around over there, did it do it? Did Rayquaza and the giant Arboliva, did they both fight? Interesting, very interesting. It was a very interesting battle they had today, the 2-on-1. The thing that annoyed me is that when Roy went for the Ember, Liko was like, no, you'll damage the forest more. No, you won't. You won't, because that is a giant Pokemon. There is no way in Arceus, no way in what is the Pokemon equivalent to the devil? I guess it would be Giratina, huh? There's no way in Giratina's distortion world he would miss an Ember and it would burn down everything else. Shut up, you're just making this fight drag on. Use the Ember, Roy. Instead of using Stomping Tantrum to get it to knock down to his feet, while using Leaf Age, apparently the only move that you will ever learn that is a Leaf move outside of Quick Attack. Yeah, I'm kind of complaining now. I'm at episode 11, and some of the choices now, I don't know if it's just for the younger people or if it's, I don't know. I tend to remember when they were secrets, the secrets made sense, right? Or they would tell it very early, like, okay, well, this is what's going on, and someone would go, You're kind of slow for being upset about that, but I get it. Let's work on it together, right? But yeah. But the whole thing's about understanding one another. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in episode 12, given that the Arboliva, Palladian Wooper came up and was all healed up because Mollie was doing her thing. I do like when the Arboliva was coming forward, finally understanding that they were friendly, that her Chansey was just like, or Chansey Japanese name is Lucky, which is funny because you need Lucky to capture one back in the old days. But it's just Chansey's ready. She's like, it's fine. I'm sorry and thank you. Okay. That was a good part. The giant thing showed them the rest. They did not realize that the burned down forest was that bad. Now, according to the news, because Mollie saw it on the news, apparently the news said that it was a thunderstorm. Nimona knew that it was burned down too. Nimona also brings up that she's looking forward to battling Roy again. I don't remember if she battled him before, but if Nimona and Roy become rivals and it gives Roy a reason to fight other gym leaders, whether to get a badge or to just get stronger, I'm all for that. Liko can do Liko things and Roy can be our boy. Let me see, do I have everything? Yeah, that's basically it for today. Before I give the rating, let's talk about the Pokemon of the day. We'll go in order of evolution because today's was the cute baby right here, Smoliv. Look how adorable that is. Oh, so cute. Grass normal type Pokemon. It secretes a very bitter olive oil in the fruit that's right there, and it's very easily startled, so it'll spray you with it. I love that the context photo at the end of this was Fuecoco getting splattered. Fuecoco is so one of the funniest and most expressive Pokemon, because the Pokemon, again, I tell you, my favorite parts of the Pokemon moments where you have Sprig chasing a fletchling because it's a cat, and you have Fuecoco trying to climb the giant Pokemon that they thought were a tree, trying to climb it, but then rolling back, and you have Roy's like, all right, my cute little roly-poly fire gator, put you in my backpack. Oh no, we got knocked off the top. Roy lands like a hero. Fuecoco is in the ground. Even when Sprig had to save Fuecoco from getting smashed, saved it, still head first in the ground and had to pull it up. Adorable. Last week's Pokemon seminar was Oliva. That is the next form of Smoliv, and the form right before you get to Arboliva or Olivia. Apparently, those fruits up top are what has allowed this Pokemon to be in close connection with people. People, I don't want to say people protect it, but people allow it around and keep it because the oil that it secretes is very, very useful. And apparently the oil it has at that form is not as bitter as the one with Smoliv. But as we saw with Brassius's Oliva, you startle it enough, it'll spray. If it's happy enough, it'll spray. So they're going to spray regardless. All in all, this is an okay episode. It wasn't terrible. Some of the plot holes that get drug out kind of annoyed me, which made me just yell at my screen, "You're a clone! You're a clone! You're a clone! Why are you okay? I hope your parents look different than you." I was just the fact that she drug out that non-plus reasoning. I get it. The reasoning's good, but the drag out was kind of dumb. I'm gonna give it 3.5. Slightly above average. Not in 4 territory. I'm waiting for another battle, a better battle to happen, but it's nice seeing our trainers connect everything together. Roy was still paying attention to Fuecoco, which looks like Fuecoco gets frustrated during battle, so it does stomping tantrum a lot. Learn another fire move, Fuecoco. You're adorable. You're the starter that I picked for these games, so please do us proud. But yeah, enough from me. I want to know what you guys think. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the episode. So far, how are you liking the show? It's enjoyable. It's not bad. This is a good next generational step for the Pokemon anime. If you've made it this far, tell me, who is your favorite new grass type Pokemon? Yeah, if you played the games. If you haven't, who's your favorite grass Pokemon, period? I have to say mine is Decidueye and Rowlet. I like them. Obviously, I also like Trico and Venusaur and Chikorita, but I like Rowlet and Decidueye a lot. Again, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about Pokemon Horizons. Please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. And I will most definitely see you guys next time. I'm Shane, and I'll catch you later.